welcome back to Andalusitano. I'm Sophie Gates, and Andalusitano is the Iberian horse agency that finds Andalusians for your soul. And today I'm with Mariano Vinuesa from the La Yeguada, La Cartuja, El Hierro del Bocado, which is one of the oldest stud farms in Spain and one of the most famous, or I'd say maybe the most famous stud farm in all of Spain. Hi, Mariano, how are you?
Hi, Sophie, very well. Very grateful to be with you with these videos to support our situation with the COVID. So it's a pleasure to speak about horses with you and all your followers.
And how many horses do you have in the stud?
At the moment, we have altogether fillies, colts, or mares, stallions. We have around 280 horses.
Almost 300 horses. That's a lot of horses to.
Yeah, of course, we need to have that amount of horses because we are the Carthusian bloodlines. We are a small family, and we need to keep as much as possible variability of the genes. So,
yeah.
And that's why we belong to the government. We are a state stud. Probably this stud in private hands. We only had around 30 mares, no more than 20, 30 mares, no more. And with the mares, it could be enough to have a normal production as a commercial or private stud. But since the stud belongs to the government, we have to be very careful, trying to keep all the genes as much as possible and during the whole time. We are keeping a treasure. We are responsible of a treasure with 500 years, a century more than 500 years. So we have to do that, and that's why we belong to the state, and that's why the Spanish state decided in 1983 that they have to support this stud. In Spain, there are a lot of stud, there are a lot of good horses, there are a lot of lines, but there is only one line with more than 500 years of history. And this is a treasure in Spain. I like to compare that our stud is like a Museo del Prado, and our horses is like Las Meninas or the big pictures. We have the state have to keep because it's necessary for the heritage, the culture, the genes, the genetic, everything.
So are you trying to keep all of the different genes? I mean, obviously you need a lot of horses to breed, so that they don't get too much, what do you call it, consanguinidad? Inbreeding.
Yeah, this is the most difficult is to keep a reasonable level of inbreeding. It's difficult because we are a small family. It's bigger than people think, but it's small. And to try to improve the horses and to keep going with the normal evolution of the horses in the world and the horses in the Andalusian horse, Spanish horse. So that's a bit more difficult for us to the rest of the breeders because we don't have a lot of horses to look for what we are looking for, what we want. We only have a small family, a small amount of horses. But I think there are genes enough, and at the moment, we have the tools to keep going with the Carthusian bloodlines and to keep going doing as well as they start to doing in 15th century.
Yeah. So how many active studs do you have at the moment?
How many active? Sorry.
How many active breeding stallions do you have at the moment?
At the moment, we are using here 4 or 5 stallions. No more, and every year we try to produce around 25, 30 foals per year, no more than that.
No.
Because of the size of the stud, the situation of the commercial around the world. And I would like to have more than 100 foals every year, but I can't support that. No, I need you to sell 80 foals per year, and I will be able to feed my 20 foals and sell to all around the world the other 80 foals.
Well, Toledano is doing really well in the States. He's going to debut soon in the Grand Prix. They've got him. Yeah, he's great. He's doing really well. So that's at least I've been able to help you with one or two.
Oh, one or two.
Oh, two.
Rencoroso also, remember?
Yeah, Rencoroso. He's also doing really well. I'm very happy with them. That's what I like. Your bloodline have the most noble and sweet horses. They're very easy for most people to ride. They've got a very friendly character.
I think it's our most important point. People look for Carthusian because of the beauty, because of the hair, because of the history. But I think the most important for us is the character, that sweet character, and that sensitivity that is able to get all to the rider in every condition. It's able to give all to the professional rider, but also to the amateur rider that wants to enjoy a horse and maybe do a small competition or amateur competitions, but it's perfect and in the stable.
Exactly, and not only are they sweet, they're also very personal. They all have their own. They're almost like people, you know. They have their own personal character, maybe even more so than many other lines within the Spanish horses.
Yeah, I think that is why Carthusian bloodlines, Carthusian horses have no grades. It's black or white. People love them or hate them, but because it's like when you fall in love with someone, with a person. Well, maybe you are in love with a girl, with a man, and people say, why this person is in this love? And it's the same for Carthusian horses. They have a special character, special way of life, and if you fall in love with him, will be your love forever. If not, will be your nightmare every day, maybe. like love relationship.
If you get married, then you're stuck. Well, what was I going to say? So when you sell a horse from La Yeguada, do you get a certificate of Cartujano with it as well as the normal papers? Do you have a special certification for Cartujano?
Well, at the moment in Spain there is not an official certificate, not an official paper from the stud book from ANCE, because of ANCE, the registration in this book is for all the Spanish horses without differences between Carthusian and other bloodlines. There are certificates from the Carthusian Association, but we don't use to have that certificate because, well, we are the mother of the Carthusian. We are like a Cartuja.
Yeah.
We are a state stud, so it's supposed to be all the horses here are Carthusians, and traditionally we don't get the certificate. At the moment, the association is a bit low because of the situation, the global situation, and it's not working as good as we would like.
No.
Maybe in the future, because that certificates, I think the certificates was very important in the beginning because of they certified, of course, that a horse belongs to the Carthusian bloodlines. But at the moment, most of the Carthusian horses are registered. So if the father and the mother are Carthusians, well, maybe it's not that necessary to certify that the son, of course, is Carthusian, because the mother and the father are. So
why I'm asking is because I remember in the old days, you could ask for such a certificate if you had a Cartujano horse. I remember I've seen them because I used to have a Cartujano horse, and he had a certificate.
In the past, they were very important because there were a lot of doubts about if they were Carthusian or not, pure Carthusian, just a bit, because most of the horses most of the Spanish horses has a big part of Carthusian blood inside. Maybe not 100%, but 90, 80, 70%. And at the beginning, mainly foreign buyers or people from other countries, they don't exactly know if they are Carthusian or not, because they see Hierro del Bocado in the trees of the genealogy, but they can know 100% they are not. And in the past, maybe it was important. At the moment, I think it's less important, and that's the reason because of the association now is working a lot less than the past.
Well, I think it's interesting because you have horses both in dressage and alta escuela and also in jumping and 3-day eventing.
Yeah.
That's one of my favorites that you currently have now is the 3-day eventing stallion. I don't remember his name.
That was like a lot of things in life was not a purpose, but there was a rider who was in contact with the Carthusian, with the stud, with the Yeguada Cartuja, and he was a benching rider. Started to ride 2, 3, 4 horses, and one of them was especially good for the benching. And we keep going, and he got really good results. He was until 2 stars show, so medium high competition. And well, I was joking with the same rider was Spanish championship 3 times in a row with a horse, with an Andalusitan horse, and that horse has a problem with exercise, and I don't remember why. And the first competition after the problem, he competed with our horse, with Odalisco, in 1-star level, and Odalisco won to the 3 years Spanish championship. Because Odalisco will never can jump at the higher level, but at the same level, our Carthusian won to the 3 Spanish championship. So I was joking with the audience. Okay, your horse is more powerful than my horse, of course, but at the same level, my horse is better than you, and the competition taught that to us. and now it's funny because that horse we brought here to improve a bit the dressage, because it's surprisingly the best part of the horse was the cross country. The best was the cross country, and the dressage was not the best of that horse in the painting. And we put on the stud with our main rider, Samuel Lopez, to improve a bit the speed on dressage. And he started to do as well that we decided to retire to painting to start with dressage, because in 1 month he was able to start with passage, with quality, Pierre, and with the change in serial changes, and was amazing. And without competing as a competition, we sold them to an amateur rider, and she's in love with the horse. She said that she doesn't need to compete the horse, because for her it's the perfect horse for dressage, and it doesn't matter if competition or not, but she enjoy a lot at home. And she has a trainer from Netherlands, and was surprised to me a lot that the trainer is a very important person in Netherlands. Said that horse, Odalisco III, is the horse was with more facility for passage he ever seen in his work. And he's working with stallion and KWPM and over, and I think he was a breeder of horses in Grand Prix, he was breeder of horses in Olympic Games, and he is amazed how easy make the passage of that horse.
I think it's got to do with how easy they have to learn and how willing they are. You know, it's easy to. I've been talking to quite a few people about the Spanish horses, because I can't go out and do my work, so I'm just at home and I'm trying to do something. And well, I think that we've all agreed to that sometimes they give so much, they learn so easy, and they give so much that you think they can learn in such a short time, which they do as well. But sometimes it's almost like they give too much. You have to, as the person that's handling them, you have to maybe sometimes say, okay, thank you, this is enough for today. Because it's tempting to just ride and ride and ride and ride on these horses.
I think that horse especially, and most of our horses, that is the most important point. They are very clever in the mind. It's very, very easy to learn everything, and they have a huge heart. So when they give more than 100% every day and every moment, that when you ask in the right way. You have to be careful, of course, with all the horses. You can confuse easy way and intelligent horse or intelligent mind to act every day for everything and as quick as possible. You have to be careful, of course. But when the horse understand what you are trying to do, they give you everything, and this is probably the most important thing that has our horses, our Carthusian horses. I think it's it's about all the Spanish horses in general, but especially with Carthusian horses.
I think if anybody is interested to come and see, visit the Stad. I mean, now it's closed, obviously, because of the crisis we're in. But you should definitely go and see the show at La Yeguada, La Cartuja, because it's the most beautiful show of all the shows, of all the different places you can go to a show. I love this one the most. It's an amazing show. And also, many of the horses that are for sale in the Stad, if they're ridden, they might have been in the shows that they're used to competition-like environment. There's a lot of noise going on in the shows. Everybody is cheering the horses on, and yeah, it's a very beautiful.
We try to show in our show how the stud is with the mares, with the cobra, with the foals, or with the horses under the saddle, with the horses with carriage. And we try to show a stud. It's not a riding show. It's not a riding competition. It's a stud. And okay, this is our horse. This is our stud. This is our job. And I would like to show to you. Well, in an arena, it's difficult to show everything, but I think people keeps quite happy with our show. Hopefully, we can keep going. We don't know when, but in summer or maybe in autumn. But hopefully, we will be able to continue with the show, of course.
Yeah, of course. I hope it's soon. It's been a true pleasure talking to you, Mariano. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much for telling me all about the horses, and I hope.
Very welcome, and everything we can collaborate with you, of course. We are waiting for you.
The same. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye.